Warning: the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
WLFE DB Radio is on Spotify with all its great shows like Across the Pond, Inside the Drag Closet, Step into the Paranormal, Just Cindy, Where's My Sage, Unfiltered Talks with Bryce, Metal Mayhem ROC, Paratalk Radio, Real Talk with Dom, and more. So download the Spotify app today to stay connected to all your WLFE DB Radio shows.
Join the guys of Across the Pond as they discuss everything under the sun and answer all of your burning questions. Now, sit back and get ready for some diversity and delightful conversations.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Across the Pond, the show where friends both near and far gather together to discuss everything under the sun and answer all of your burning questions. I am one of your American hosts from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Matthew.
Hi, I'm one of your American hosts, Jeremy from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Now, this is not a tech. I know all the time we always have technical issues and difficulties with the show, like always, with Brett joining, his sound, so on and so forth. So we have another technical difficulty this time, but it's not sound or video or whatever on his part. It's a train. Yes, a train. So Brett went out to have drinks and such with his friends and went to get the train back home to get online and be part of the show, obviously. And the trains are not running or running late or both, something along those lines. So Brett is not with us right now. He may pop up at some point in the show. If not, it just might be the two of us for the entire episode. So this just might be across the living room. Can we?
Yeah,
across the living room, across the house. Something we got to think of something interesting or a cool title.
Yeah.
Across the foyer. There we go. That
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
bougie and like elaborate. So yeah. But yeah, since Brett's not here, I can't ask. Well, I guess I could ask you how your week is, but I mean, obviously, I already know. Like we live together. Hello.
My week was great.
Oh my God!
Tuesday, I got my second vaccine.
Yes, come on, fully vaxxed. We love a fully vaxxed person.
That's it. That's all that I did and worked.
Yeah, nothing exciting. Nothing exciting here. Oh, your sister's watching. She says, "Hi, beautiful batches." Oh, hey,
Hi, number 2 fan.
How you doing, sis? Oh my gosh. So yeah, but
There we go.
what was I gonna say? Oh. So for all of you watching or who are going to be tuning in case you didn't realize, this week's episode is how to split the bill on a first date. Clearly. I know y'all want to know how to split a bill. You know, your date shows where to go, but like you suggested it. So like, should you split the bill? Who should pay what? Who should tip? You know, it's confusing, but we will answer all those questions on another episode. Today's episode is, if you couldn't tell from all the rainbows, today we're going to be talking about Pride, because in 2 weeks from Monday, I think it is, from tomorrow, we will be in June, and it will be Pride Month. But we have a special announcement and a special surprise to make during the show, which we will get to at one point, and that will explain why we're doing our Pride show now instead of in June. Yes. So yes, today we're going to be talking about Pride. So if you're watching, you're going to be watching, you're going to tune in at all, you can comment with, you know, we're going to talk about Pride Festival, celebrations, maybe some favorite and not so favorite parts of Pride, being part of the community, maybe a little bit about our coming out, things like that. So if you want to share any of those stories with us, put them in the comments, and yeah, you can we can read them and we can chit chat about that. So yeah, But with that being said, I want to ask you first, Jeremy, because we've been together now for 8 years and we've been to a lot of prides and pride festivals together. But you, and for the viewers who don't know, being born and raised California, did you go to any prides in California?
No, I did not.
No. I wanted to know, if they were any different. I guess they wouldn't be, but what if there was any differences between Pride in California versus we're here in Pennsylvania? But you have no input.
No idea. I've only been to the prides here in Pennsylvania, so. And the one time we almost went to the one in Jacksonville. That's about it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were living in Jacksonville for that period of time.
They do theirs in October though, so that was kind of awkward,
Yeah, theirs was. Well, if you think about it, Pride is obviously June is Pride month, but you can't. How many states and cities in the country? You can't fit them all in 1 month. So a lot of festivals happen, all summer long. For example, Central Pennsylvania Pride, Central PA Pride is what it's called here in Harrisburg. Ours takes place the last Saturday in July. So, yeah.
How about you? Tell us about your first Pride experience.
I'm trying to think. I think the first time I went to Pride, I was, oh my gosh. Well, I came out when I was 18, but I don't think I went to my first Pride until I was much older. Probably, I don't want to say much older. I was probably 24, maybe, something like that. So I kind of came out, and then I was just kind of figuring out those first, from 18 to 21, trying to figure out, what being gay was and how to be gay and dating and men and what I liked and didn't like and all those things. So I think I kind of my first couple of years of being gay, I kind of focused on more so dating, my dating life and that. So I didn't really go to any prides. Plus I didn't really have any gay friends. Most of my friends I still had were family from school and things like that. So as I got more, as I got more friends and stuff like that, and I got older, then I started going to Pride. But my first Pride was probably the year before I met you. I went to actually Central PA Pride, and then just with some friends, and yeah. But I eventually became, speaking of Pride, I've been to Harrisburg Pride every year. Well, except last year, obviously got canceled. And then in 2017, I was lucky enough to be Miss Central PA Pride. So yeah. So
that was a fun time.
Yes, it was, to compete and win. And the year I won, 2017, seems like forever ago. Yeah, but when I won, that was their 25th anniversary of Pride. So it was so cool to be that. We had Mrs. Kasha Davis at Pride. She was amazing. But yeah, with that being said, I think we obviously can't bring Brett out, like I said, because he's not here. But you've all heard, I'm sure, from watching our show over the past and all the weeks. I'm sure you've heard his story about Pride and being whipped and his cyst or something on his butthole. I don't even know. It's crazy ass story. But yeah, you've all heard that story. But speaking of Pride Queens, our guest this week is, first of all, she's fabulous. She's fierce, so talented. She is one of my fellow co-hosts for the other podcast I'm on, Inside the Drag Closet. And she's joining us this week to talk about Pride and all things Pride related. We're doing, I guess, a crossover of the shows at this point. But she's amazing. I hope you all love her as much as Jeremy and I do. We know her both personally. Dear friend of mine, great sister. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show our guest for the week, Miss Amethyst Diamond. Hey, sis.
Oh, my God. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Bitch, I'm a working woman today. Let me tell you what.
Yes, ma'am.
She is a working woman today. Yes, ma'am.
Yep. You just came from brunch, correct?
I literally got home 15 minutes ago for my brunch.
Oh my gosh.
Lord.
How was that?
It was amazing. It's actually at the Cantina in downtown New York. It's literally a 5-minute walk from my house, which is very nice. It was the first one. This is my first show since we were together on Black Friday at Stallions.
Wow.
So, yeah, I have not worn heels since then. I was walking like a duck. It was real messy, but I'm here. We're good.
Yeah, yes. That's awesome.
Oh, woo!
It's so good. Like I've done quite a bit of shows. I mean, this weekend and next weekend I don't have anything going on. But when June comes, I've got some stuff lined up.
Yeah.
But it feels so nice getting back on stage and performing again.
Oh my God, Scarlett! It felt so good to see people's faces, to see their teeth. You know,
Yeah.
everybody was. You know, we're not doing masks now. I guess if you're vaccinated, you know, there's a story about that. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, it felt so good. My feet are killing me, but it felt so good.
Oh,
So
I bet.
good.
Yeah.
So blessed. Back in the heels. Yes, God.
Yeah. So now,
Yes, God.
that was your first.
It was good.
Was that your first
It was good. Thank you
show
so
at
much
the
for
venue?
today. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So was that something they're going to continue to do at their venue, or is it something that, like, tell us about the venue?
It is. This was our first one in May. We have one in June, July, and August. All of them are sold out except for August already. So,
Nice.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Blessed and booked, baby. Blessed and booked.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Got my new hair on from Zambra Sky.
Yes, I love it.
It's there though.
So, but anywho, we were before you popped in, just to catch you up. Our other co-host, Brett, went out with a friend, and he's trying to get home for the show. And I think we lost.
Did we lose her?
I don't know
there
what
you are.
happened.
I don't know.
Okay.
You were there, and then it went black, and you came back, and I was like, oh, okay.
I love your lipstick.
I pray a little rainbow look, you know, nothing.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Work.
Lots of glitter all over the face.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Can you move your forehead now? I know you had a little bit of a procedure.
Oh no! See, wait, hold on. Let me just push the hair back. See, I raised my eyebrows.
Yeah.
There ain't much movement there, girl. It's all pulled back.
Snatched by Scarlett. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have worn the shirt. I should have worn the shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah. But
I just bought merch though from the show, and I bought 2 stickers. But the stickers that arrived were from some random company. They are definitely not the Inside the Direct Closet stickers.
got the wrong stickers.
So,
Oh, no.
stickers, so. The shirts are great. The shirts are. I have a Inside the Drag Closet shirt and a Snatched by Scarlett shirt, and they're perfect. But the stickers, you know. What can I say?
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your support.
I'll be buying everybody's shirts, but I just had enough to buy Scarlett's and the show.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's you're still supporting the show. Hey, we're all part of it. Yeah.
Exactly. We are one unit. Absolutely.
We are. So, Amethyst,
Absolutely.
before the
Yes,
show,
baby.
I should say before you popped in, we were Jeremy and I were chit-chatting a bit, and I told our viewers that Brett was out with a friend, and he was trying to get a train back home to join the episode, and I guess the trains are now not running anymore for the night, so he's trying to figure out a way to get home. So He may or may not be popping into the show at some point. He's our
That's
other
fine.
co-host. But we have 3 of us. It'll still be a fun Kiki.
We're
And as
fine.
you know, we are talking about all things, if you couldn't tell, all things going out to eat. We're talking about dinner tonight and going out to eat, if you couldn't tell from my look.
What is for dinner? What are we having for dinner?
Well, we were thinking maybe some vegan chicken, something along those lines, you know.
No.
Okay. I know you recently went to what, Root in Lancaster?
Oh yes, about oh gosh, that was about 2 months ago now. We're actually, speaking of that, we'll talk after the show. I'll actually be in Lancaster next Saturday.
Oh, yay.
So going out and stuff, but we'll pitch that after the show.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Today's episode, we were talking, and I asked Jeremy, and he hadn't, even though he's from California. I asked him if he had ever been to a Pride in California, which he hasn't. So I know you obviously are you've been to Harrisburg Pride, just like the rest of us here.
Yes.
But if you had to pick, out of all the prides you've been to, what's your favorite one?
Let me see. I have been to LA Pride. I've been to Atlanta Pride. I've been to Harrisburg Pride. I've been to Pride in Louisiana. Out of all of them, I would have to say Atlanta's Pride. Baby, 500,000 people.
Wow.
It's so much more than a celebration. It's a feeling. When you're there, you feel like you are on the top of the top cloud 9. Such an amazing experience. Such an amazing experience. It was wonderful. Yeah.
That's
Even better
amazing.
than yeah.
Wow. So now was Atlanta big? Atlanta was bigger than LA Pride? Or no?
They were about even.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were about even. The best thing about Atlanta, they have one of the best aquariums down there in Atlanta. My brother and my family live down in Atlanta. They have the biggest aquarium. It puts Baltimore's to shame. Like, to shame. And they closed down the aquarium just for Pride. They have a drag queen DJ. You get to walk through, have your cocktails, look at all the exhibits. And it's such an amazing, empowering feeling.
Wow.
It's just love and family, and it's Southern pride. Like you just can't beat that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Everybody
The aquarium.
Streets are shut down for all the bars and clubs. It's amazing. I had a wonderful time. I'm hoping to go back in October when Pride is down there. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I was gonna say the aquarium must be stocked with a bunch of clownfish, right?
Oh my God, the clowns are running amok. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, we're gonna get all of the other fish and animals out, and we're gonna.
Yes, I
stock
wasn't
it
the
all
only
with
fish in the
clowns.
aquarium that day. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
That's
yeah,
amazing. I've never been to a Pride out of Pennsylvania. Like I've been, obviously the Lancaster and Harrisburg and like all the prides we have around here, I've been to. But I've never been to a Pride out of PA. But I would love to go to LA Pride. I would love to go to New York City. I'd love to go to their Pride.
Oh, I was in New York Pride too.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I would love to go there.
Go,
I guess I got to put Atlanta on the list.
go.
Absolutely.
You must go.
I want to. And well, the thing is, we were supposed to go to Toronto last year to their Pride,
Okay.
Yeah.
but it was in June and obviously got canceled with lovely Miss Rona being in town. So we weren't able to, but that's on my list as well. Toronto.
Yeah. I'd love to do that next year.
Yeah,
if
big
everybody's
city
back to
prides
normal.
are just such an amazing experience. You have to go
But-
at least
but-
once.
But what I like, though, talking about prides and experiencing a pride, I think I like the fact that there are, especially locally, right? Like, so we know Pennsylvania pretty well, all of us, and we've seen the startup prides. But I think going to one of those brand new first year prides is tremendous, right? Like Chambersburg Pride was a great event, but it was like seeing the community that probably would have never come out to support a drag show, to support a local small community event, but they're showing their support for the LGBTQ plus community at a huge event that, by all other standards is not very huge. It's a small event, but still it's seeing that support in a community that probably would have never done that had the organizers not promoted and done the things that they needed to. So I think those are the great events to go to, because you get to see how the audience takes everything, what experience everybody walks away with. I think that's fun. In Chambersburg, and the reason I say that Chambersburg Pride was like that for me, it was interesting to see everybody just loving it, showing their support, showing their pride, and it was just amazing. And I'm going,
for sure.
First year, and it looks like it's maybe their second or third. So
yeah, that the feeling that you get when you're at such an event is it's very surreal, because you feel the history of where our community came from. You meet so many amazing people, and the young kids, the teenagers, the people who have just turned 21, they are just starting their journey. And I remember when I was just starting my journey, 20 years ago, that it was just, my eyes were so big and everything was larger than life. And it's such a freeing experience.
Yeah.
That I love seeing the little kids, the fire is in their eyes.
Yeah.
And it's just a continuation of our legacy, which really is what it is. So,
and you really think about it, it's like being at Pride and seeing kids really enjoying themselves and how they light up.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think back when you were a kid, right? Because I think we're about the same age, Amethyst, and I'm going, it would have never been like that for me at that age, right? Like it would have never been that way. So it's great to see the growth and the change in even in our community. It's been tremendous. So I think that's amazing to get to see that epiphany that children are having, that they could do that if they want.
Yeah. Well, and Pride's such especially nowadays, and I wish I would have known this when I was young, not saying I'm like super old, but when I was younger, because I was telling Jeremy before you hopped on the Amethyst, was that, when I came out at 18, which, young age, but I spent so much of my like younger ages, like partying and dating life and trying to figure out who I am and this and that and all this stuff. And it's like, I wish I would have been that time focusing on like going to Pride and like realizing how fun that is, because now I look back at it and I think how amazing it is and how it offers something for everyone, because whether you're like, a 19-year-old that just came out of the closet, you can go and experience this amount of love and equality and the connection there.
Yeah.
Whether you're a young kid who loves drag queen, whether you're an old person who's just happy to see the progress you made, like no matter who you are, there's something there for everybody, and everybody just comes together and celebrates and embraces as one, and it's so magical.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's the word right there, is magical.
Yeah.
So there's not a feeling or an act that could replace that feeling for any of us.
For sure.
Because we feel for once that we're the majority.
Yeah.
It's like we live in a gay world, and those who aren't in the LGBTQ community are the minority.
Right.
Yeah.
And, maybe that's not the case, but it's a good feeling to have every now and again.
At that point in time, right? At that point in time, it's that.
Yeah.
In that moment, we rule the universe. And
we at least rule the fucking block, right?
Oh my God, New York City Pride, you can't get anywhere. That shit
is different from any other time.
It's crazy. But what an experience. You must go. You have to just do it. You have to do it.
I want to so bad. Like, I've just, over the years of seeing, like, I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends in Philly, because it's not too far, will go to New York to their Pride. And I'm always seeing people's photos and social medias after going, and I'm like, oh, I just need to go one time.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
do.
Yeah.
You do. Everybody is just on the same level. There's no disrespect. There's no shade. There's no judgment. It's just love.
Right.
Love, and that would fuel the entire planet if everybody could just get on board, please. Just get on board. It's all about the love. That's all it is.
Catch a train that's still running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you all go to the leather bar afterwards, and do your thing.
Exactly.
Kink is, you can do that at night. It's fine.
Baby, we'll talk after the show.
Yes.
Baby. I love it. Thank you so much for having me on today. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice to have you on. I want to do like I've been telling Brett and Brian, well, even Jeremy, because he's filling in for Brian right now. And like I want to do, if it works, it would be so nice to have an episode where like I could have all you girls, like all the inside, you, Jade, and Anastasia, like all the dry closet. That'd be so much fun to just have a big like the two shows merged together and have like a giant kiki. That'd be so fun.
We will have a crossover episode. Absolutely.
Yes.
You might want to sell tickets to that one.
Yeah, we will.
Now, are you going to be half Scarlet?
All right. Half and half. Like I'm here for this side of me is here for Inside the Drag. This side of me is here for Across the Pond. Like I'm repping both.
You can do it. You can do it. We have a show together in a couple weeks, don't we?
Yes.
June 4th.
Yes, June 4th. We do. I'm excited because it'll be a basic. We haven't done a show together since
Black Friday.
Black Friday. Now we're back at Science again for this one. Yeah.
And I'm really glad there's 4 of us because that last time was so fast.
Ooh, yeah, it was. I was
ripping things off left and right. I was like, no, this ain't cute. This ain't cute. I love you.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that one. That's why I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, I didn't go to that one, so I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you weren't. It was just us, and then we were like, the 3 of us are just backstage, like ripping and throwing things off and helping each other get numbers, and it was like rapid. Oh my God! Try doing. Aida and I have it's her monthly show, Fahrenheit at Heat. But before the pandemic, it was me, her, and then a third entertainer, which was a different guest every month. And then when it went down to just 2 entertainers, I've been kind of like here and there until we get back to like the full capacity and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, Black Friday wasn't too bad because I got to the point where I was like, oh, well, I'm used to me, Aida, and a guest, the 3 of us, doing Fahrenheit Friday stuff at Heat. So it's kind of the same thing. But girl, that first one, I should say, when I say post-COVID, when we could perform again, that first one back with just Aida and I, 2 people. Try doing a show with 2. Girl, that was... Luckily, Jeremy was there, and he was helping us change. And then it's like, I'm on the mic, Aida's on the mic, she's stalling, I'm stalling. I'm like, COVID, go away.
I'm like holding the mic up to Aida's mouth while she's announcing Scarlet as Aida's trying to into something, and then same thing when she's trying to get ready to go out when Scarlet's done. It's like, oh my God, it's fun though. It does go by very quickly. But it's still
very difficult.
Yeah,
it's so hard to do shows like that because, I mean, after 20 some years, I think I'm a professional now, so, and it's so hard because I want to be neat and organized and put everything back together. And I'm just like, fuck. It gets so messy. We pulled it off. So,
yeah, we did. Well, speaking of, quick changes and having to go from one performance to the next performance very fast, that reminds me of, Pride, getting back to Pride. I remember the year that I was Miss Central PA Pride in 2017, and I had to do So Pride started at noon, and then I think, or 11, and then I think the Stallion show was like noon or 1, and they both went for like 6 or 7. But anywho, in that like 6-hour time span of Pride and Stallions, both those shows happening at the same time, I did 3 numbers at Pride and 3 at Stallions. And it was, and of course, the way they made the schedule, I don't know, I guess it was the easiest way to do it with the amount of performers that do Harrisburg Pride. But it was literally, I was at Pride, at Stallions, at Pride, at Stallions, at Pride.
Wow.
Back and forth. So it was like, as soon as I got off stage at, for example, Pride, I had to run over the Stallions, change into that number, and perform, and then go back over to Pride. Like, girl.
That's too much.
It was too much.
That is too much. I'm sweating just thinking about that. Lord. Oh, Lord.
I'm like, what did I sign up for?
I know. But at the end of the day, it's what we do, and it's worth it.
Yes, it is definitely worth it. And it was, and it's fun. And, you know, speaking of being a Pride title holder, I know you are, the only Pride title holder I've had was Central PA. I know you've had a couple. So tell us a little bit about, like, your reigns as Pride title holders.
Absolutely. My first Pride title was Central Pennsylvania Pride, and that was back in 2006. I want to say that my sister, Michaela Summers Diamond, crowned me Miss Central Pennsylvania Gay Pride in 2006. And Harrisburg has always been, I turned 21 when I, in Harrisburg, I should say. I turned 21 at the Upstairs Bar at Stallions on a Wednesday night. I met Poison the same night. I met my drag mother the exact same night. This is back in 2001.
Wow.
So Harrisburg has always had my heart. It's always been my home, away from home. So being the Pride representative of Central PA and the capital of our state was such an honor for me. It's probably one of my most cherished titles, I would say. Just to represent the community and the up-and-coming kids, as we were saying, and the youngsters. The youngsters, God, how old am I now? Jesus Lord.
The youngsters.
It was a blessing. It's such a blessing to be the Pride representative, even more so than being a state representative or a national title holder. If you're a Pride representative, you are representing thousands of people.
Yeah.
And it was such a blessing for me. It's such great memories for me. Harrisburg will always have my heart. I will always be there to perform at Stallions or Pride or whatever Harrisburg needs. That's where I'll be.
Yeah.
And my second Pride title was Lancaster. That was 2010. They're up there somewhere amongst the masses.
Along all those other ones.
Yeah, you know, all those things. Lancaster Pride was 2010. And that was a good time for me, too, because I had just turned 30, the deadly 30 years old. Lord have mercy. And I was rediscovering myself. I had just gotten into a new relationship. And my marriage was 10 years long, but that's a whole nother story. Tune in next week, kids, on Across the Pond when I talk about my... But yeah, Pride titles always have my heart. Such a special place for me, because I do it for the people. I do it for being a voice for the unheard, having a platform to speak, and being a superhero for the LGBT community.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about for me. That's really what it's about for me. So yes, I can't find my fans. I'm sorry.
Yes, girl.
But my dress is not even zippered right now, so
I love it.
I got home.
Baby.
Unpacked.
I'm here for you. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. And I was Miss York Pride as well. Now, that was a little different. That didn't come with a crown. That was a fundraiser. Whoever raised the most money for York Pride was the winner. So I raised the most money for Pride. It came with a nice plaque. I was like, but my crown though? Where's the crown?
Like if you want one, buy it. If you want it, buy it.
Yeah, yeah. So I have had 3 Pride titles.
Wow.
So, some of my favorite. Absolutely.
Yep. I definitely agree with you. Like, I mean, I haven't had that many titles, but you know, I've only had 1 Pride title. With that being said, and mine was Central PA Pride as well back in 2017, and it was just that kind of was like, for me, that was like the turning point in like everything drag related, like my career, my path, what I was doing, where I was going, everything, because it was like, you know, up until then I was so focused on like getting, I was so focused on like getting my drag somewhere and getting the wheels turning and like figuring out where I wanted to go and things like that. And then I got the Pride title holder, the Pride title I got, and I wasn't even going to compete for it. It was funny because the 2016 Central PA Pride winner was Ashley Lynn, and she was like, she came up to me at a show about a month before the pageant, and she said to me, hey, she's like, are you competing for Central PA Pride? And I was like, well, I didn't plan on it. No, I don't have anything really put together, blah, blah, blah. She goes, well, you should. I'm like, why? She's like, well, I'm stepping down. And it was, for those who don't know, Aurora's my drag mother. She won 2007 and 2010 Central PA Pride. So 2017 was her 10 year. So Ashley said, how cool would it be for your mother's 10 year, my step down, and Pride's 25 year, you get crowned. And I'm like, okay. So I thought about it, and then I went to the contestant meeting 2 weeks before the pageant. I decided to compete for this. I quickly threw stuff together. I was messaging people asking help me, begging for help, and I went and I competed. And I just remember, Jeremy knows this for sure, I remember going and I remember seeing, you know, some of the other contestants, and I was just like, there's, and I was in this mindset. I was like, oh, their stuff looks better because they prepared longer than I did. But I'm like, at the end, but then I thought about it, I'm like, but then the day to win Pride, it's not about who looks the best. It's about putting your heart and dedication into it. And exactly. I did. I mean, for my, if you were there or not, my presentation was this gown, this white gown, and it just had little touches of rainbow here and there. And the rainbow were actually the pictures of the victims of Pulse nightclub on the gown. And I talked about that tragedy and everything. So I just kind of played true and just did the Pride thing, and I ended up winning. And after that, it just, you know, changed, like you said, the way to be able to, you know, I did the Pride tour to raise money for Central PA Pride, traveled around, met people, connected with people, and did it all for Pride and to benefit Pride. And it was just so cool because I remember competing and afterwards being able to, you know, someone like Scarlett to win Pride and be like, you don't have to be this, not that I'm saying this mean to anybody else, but like, you don't have to be this beautiful, gorgeous, fishy, elegant, white picket fence drag queen to win and represent Pride. You can be this crazy, silly, colorful clown and still represent the same way. Pride's for everybody. It's for the weirdos as well. So it was nice to win the title and represent.
You know, you talked about that, and I remember that's kind of like the epiphany, right? You wanted to compete 2 weeks before. You were like, I don't look like anybody else. I'm not going to be like anybody else. I don't think I'm going to win. You had all of these doubts, right? So you get all of these doubts in your package and all of that. And then you didn't look like Scarlett, right? So you didn't look like this. You know, you didn't look like that.
Come on, March.
And you really did paint more fishy, and I helped you, and Ashley helped you. We all helped you. But then at the end of the night, Star Powers, one of the judges, was like, why didn't you come out as Scarlett? Why did you come out as pageant, Scarlett, that only a few people have seen at all. Like not many people have seen it that way. And they were like, she was like, they were expecting you to be yourself and not to be somebody else. So like, it's kind of like this epiphany of like, oh, I can show pride in what I normally do and not have to look like everyone else that competes in pageants. I can, you could be yourself and still win and still be authentic. I just thought it was like, I was like, oh damn! I didn't think of that. No, you didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's such a learning point for a lot of us who do compete. Once you learn that you have to do it for you and you have to do your ideas and things that you're comfortable with, that's such a big lesson to learn when it comes to competing. I mean, for the longest time, I did everybody else's ideas. Oh, you should do this, you should try that, and none of them were ever successful. Until I started doing things that I like to do, that I was interested in, that's when I started being successful with winning crowns. So be you. That's what Pride wants. They want individuality. They want creativity and uniqueness. Now I sound like Drag Race. But it's true. Yeah, be yourself. We don't want a cookie cutter representative. We want somebody who stands alone on their own and just represents themselves in our community. So yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and that was like literally once I won. Like the story or what Jeremy was just saying. The story about me winning is just I went into that with the mindset that it's just a pageant, so I have to be pageant. Like I just got in that mindset to do it, and then I was like, at the end of it, people were like, "Oh, we didn't expect to see your face painted by Ashley Lynn and Jeremy and looking all not clowny." Like everyone was like shocked. It was weird to think that people were shocked to see that, but it was true because it wasn't me. And I was just like, well, I came into it thinking that this is a pageant, so it's to be pageanty, but they were like, but it's pride. It's for pride. It's to be you, be proud of it. You're representing as you. And once I heard that was just the fire that I needed for my year reign to be like, well, I'm going to be myself, do myself, present as myself, and I'm going to make the best of this title. And it was amazing. Yeah. Like I just said, the things I did, the people I met, it opened doors. It really helped my career take off and get me to where I am today. And I loved it. I mean, I would love to compete again. Maybe not for Central PA Pride, but maybe if not a different Pride. And have a Pride title again because they're just amazing.
They are. They really are. Definitely. I'm starting to get the itch to compete again too. So Jeremy, I'm sure we'll be talking very soon about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of Miss Pennsylvania. I don't know if you've heard of that before or anything. But, that's what I have not achieved. That one is not up there. I need that one up there.
Yes.
Okay.
So what is the plan?
Being ready.
When is Miss Pennsylvania happening?
So we've talked about not to go off of the Pride topic, but we've talked about it, and we're going to start next year. So talk to Divinity Cruise. Miss Gay Pennsylvania 2019, 2020, and 2021.
The longest running Miss Pennsylvania in history.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll be ready. Ready. Okay. It's a long time coming, baby. It's a long time.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. For sure. Oh my gosh.
But yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I wanted to ask a question. Now it may be a little. I don't want to seem shady, but I wanted to see if there was ever a time where you were at a. This is for all of us. That you were at a Pride event, festival, etc., and something maybe happened to you that you felt uncomfortable or kind of was a least favorite moment, I should say, from a Pride. If anyone has one to share.
I don't think so. There's been oodles of, protesters, people standing on the corner, preaching what they preach, which more power to them. Their opinion is valid. If that's what you believe, That's not my business. You know?
Yeah.
I always embrace the protesters. I love walking up to them and saying hello to them and wishing them well and just giving them positivity and love and light.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they don't realize the negativity that they're spewing completely goes against everything they believe in. Like, it's like, okay, if that's what you're preaching, does your entity or your powers that be approve of hate and judgment? Is that what you're preaching from? Because if you are, well, maybe you need to take a seat and actually read the book you're preaching from.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the book that I've read, the one you're holding, nothing of any of that. So yeah, I love the negativity when it comes to pride because those are the people that need to be embraced and educated.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the people we need to reach out to and have a conversation with. Ask why they feel the way they feel. Because 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10, it's going to come from lack of knowledge, which is ignorance, which causes their fear, which causes their hate. And those are solvable problems with a simple conversation.
Exactly. Yep. Totally agree.
And I take it from the perspective of like you're not going to win everyone over, right? Like you're not going to win them over. You're not going to win those type of people over. But at least you can provide the humanity behind the experience and let them see that we're people, right? Just because you don't like whatever we stand for, whatever that might be in your mind, we're still humans. We're still the same people that walk the earth as you.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Everything like went crazy over here.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I that's probably. I mean, I remember my first ever time going to Pride, which was Central PA. 9 years ago or something, like whatever. I mean, I was young, so I just automatically would have walked up to these people and be like, "No, God hates you," blah blah, like scream back at them. But then I was like, "Nah, I'll just go in and have fun." And now I'm much mature, and like all the years of going to Pride and different Pride events and seeing it, it's like, what's going to happen every year, no matter where you go, what part of whether you go to a small city Pride like Lancaster or something, or you go to a big one like LA or New York or Atlanta, like you're going to have the haters. You just need to either ignore them or try to spread the love and positivity from the festival to them. If they don't want that love and positivity, that's on them. They're and there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, it's definitely it's just funny to see some of them. I mean, I'm sure at a big city like New York, there's probably a lot more. But it's just funny to go to something like for example, Harrisburg Pride, and you have thousands of people, and there's like 6 protesters. I'm like, really? Nobody hears you or sees you.
Right, like very valiant effort on your part. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
We appreciate your effort. That's great, but it just blows my mind to see people do that, because it's like, if you know what you're preaching, you would not be standing on this corner spewing all this hatred.
Exactly.
It's so backwards to me.
Yeah.
And those are people, I'm like, baby, come here. Let's talk. Why do you not like me again? Like, those are the people that I love to embrace. I really do. I truly do. I will take all the hours of every day to sit down and talk to somebody like that, because I want to know their reason why.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes they don't have a valid answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to be like, well, the good book says this, and the good book says that. I'm like, where in your book does it say that your power that be wants you to go out and spread this hatred and ugliness to everybody that he or she created for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
Yeah. Yep.
Stop.
I agree.
But anyway.
Yes. Anyway, we have to take a commercial break. But when we get back, we will. I see some stuff in the comments, whatever. So I'll go through that. We will kiki some more, and for everybody watching or who's going to tune in, remember, we still have that very special announcement and very special surprise to make. So that's coming up after the break, so stay tuned.
WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels. Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows. LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows. Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DB.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows. Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE-DB radio shows. You can find our shows where you listen to your favorite podcasts, like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and more. WLFE-DB Radio is looking for podcasts to join our family. You don't have to fit any strict genre. We're a plethora of shows. If you're looking to jump on a growing network, then contact us at WLFEDBradio@gmail.com.
Wow, Amazon Music just got a whole lot better. Your favorite shows from WLFE-DB Radio can now be found there. Yes, we are on Amazon Music, found under podcasts. Download the app, find podcasts, and search all of your favorite shows. Shows like Where's My Sage, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Skeptical Help Bar, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and much more. Now you don't have to miss an episode ever. Amazon Music is WLFE-DB radiofied.
More from WLFE-DB Radio Network after this.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE-DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Pond. Yeah.
I have to adjust my video so I'm not blurry.
Oh, that's much better. Oh, yeah.
Maybe there was probably lube on my webcam. I'm just saying.
Something was on there.
OnlyFans and
She's a working lady. She had a brunch. She had an OnlyFans video to film. She's on a roll today. Next, she needs a nap after this day. So
maybe it's going to be a coma. It's not going to be a nap.
She's going to be out cold. Yes. Well, welcome back to our show, everyone. And this week we are joined by the fabulous and fierce Amethyst Diamond, and we are talking about Pride, all things Pride. So I wanted to, in the comments, our co-host Brian's watching. I'm living for you all. Yes, God, with Rainbow Hearts. Thank you, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Pufferfish.
Tammy Ruby is watching. She says, "Love you, Amy."
That's my mom.
Oh, Mom.
Hi, Mom. And that's my nephew there in her picture. I love it.
Oh, so cute.
Hi, Mom. This is your fault. This is all your fault.
Our sister-in-law Nicole is watching. She says, "Hey." She says also, "I can't wait to see you perform in person again." I know, right?
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Coming to the show on the 4th?
Hey, Nancy.
Oh, she might be. She actually, that is my sister-in-law that lives in Lancaster. That is. So they might be coming to the show, but yes. There was another. This is Brett, since he's stuck at a train station, commenting from our Facebook saying, "Y'all look gorgeous." Thank you, Brett. And yes. Oh, and Jeremy's sister Katrina said, "Love your hair and makeup, Amy."
My sister, our number 2 fan.
Number 2. Oh, she's number 2. Yeah. But
Behind Liz Clayton Brown.
she's frozen again.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's always having technical difficulties on our show. If it's not Brett, it's a guest. How are we the only two that ever have issues with?
Well, I was just having issues. I had to that's why during the commercial break I had to refresh because I wasn't seeing any of the controls at the bottom to mute myself, to turn my mic off, to turn my camera off, any of that. So I had to refresh.
Oh, okay. Well,
who knows?
Well, Amethyst is coming.
Amethyst is spinning.
Yeah, Amethyst looks so good here. Best she's ever looked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, here you go, Jeremy. Katrina said, "No bitch, number 1 fan."
Gotta watch every week then. You can't miss a week.
Oh, yep. Tell her we gotta, and also you gotta be a guest at some point. So, yeah. Oh, well, Amethyst popped off. She'll probably be back. Technical difficulties again, obviously. But for those of you
Your announcement.
For those of you, yeah, we can do that. Gigi, get out of here. Dogs off my grill. But anywho, yes, for those of you just joining this week, we are talking about Pride and all things Pride. And again, we are joined by lovely Amethyst Diamond. She has technical difficulties right now, but she'll be back. But I did say before the break, we have a special surprise and a special announcement to make. So we are going to start with,
is she back?
Here she is. She's spinning back into the room.
Great. Love that for her.
But yes. Yes, no, maybe.
Is she gonna come? Is she coming back?
She's coming. She's coming back. Is she not coming back?
Is her dial not working at home?
Yeah. Girl, did you? There she is. Hey, girl.
Hi.
She got a phone call, so her dial-up kicked her off the internet.
Yeah.
Baby. Baby. I have no idea how to do this.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah.
I'm back.
Yes, good.
Welcome. Welcome.
Wow.
Welcome back. Well, no, I was just letting the viewers know that we have you as our guest. We were talking about Pride. I did pull up a comment. I think you had disappeared. Jeremy's sister, who's watching, said that she loves your hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Our sister-in-law, Nicole, who's watching, said, "What show? Give me the deets." Well,
she don't know?
She don't know yet? Okay, girl. Well, it's for Fierce Fridays. Yes, Fierce Fridays are back at Stallions. Now they are going to be the end of the month, the last Friday of the month. But this one will be the first Friday of the month, which is June. It is Friday, June 4th. Showtime is 10 p.m. and the cover is $5 and is at Stallions Club here in downtown Harrisburg with with performances by guests. Myself, Scarlet Overkill, the fabulous Amethyst Diamond right here. Trixie DeFlair, and your current rating Miss Stallions, Aida Stratton. So yes, what a lineup come out for that show. It is going to be amazing.
It'll be okay. My uterus might be swollen that day, but
So excited.
I am so excited too. But we were going to, real quick before we get back into, I'm going to do this now. As I said, we have a special announcement and surprise. So we're going to do the surprise at the end of the show, but we're going to do the special announcement now. So for everyone watching, the guys and I up across the pond had a talk internally, and then with Ted, who we thank and talk about every week. He basically helps us and with the show and the radio station, and he's the one who got all of us where we are today. But we are going to, with Across the Pond, we're going to be something a little different than some other podcasts on the channel. We are going to be doing seasons of the show. So we are going to take from Memorial Day weekend until Labor Day weekend. We're going to take those 3.5 months off. There will be no new episodes of Across the Pond during that time. Yes. So we are going to, next Sunday, May 23rd, is going to be our last episode for season 1. And then Sunday, September 12th, the Sunday after Labor Day weekend, we will return with season 2, all new guests, all new topics, and Brian will be back. Our co-host Brian will be back. So
maybe.
Yes. So that is our special announcement. We will post
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly we will be back. But yes, we will be making a post on our Facebook and Instagram page, letting you all know that yes, that next weekend's our last episode, and that we will then be back September 12th. So yeah, that's our little special announcement that we have about our show. We wanted to, as you know, speaking of our show, June 4th at Stallions. I also have a couple things popping up in June, and I know now with, you know, for those of you who may live under a rock, if you haven't seen restrictions here in PA, that is, I don't know about any other states in the country, are, you know, loosening up here next week or the week after, and we are with the CDC, you know, vaccinated people can take their masks off and things. So as life goes back to normal, I'm sure drag will pick up more, as you know, Amethyst and everyone else watching. So summer might be a little tricky. We also have vacations planned, so summer's gonna be a little tricky with trying to keep guests over the weekend for our show, since we are Sunday afternoon. So we're just gonna take the summers off every year and just have our show in the fall and winter time. And Gigi's making a cameo. But yes.
Oh,
Baby's there. Oh yes. Nicole says, I'm there. Yes.
Allegedly.
thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. I can hear my cat like clawing at the door. She's like, let me in, let me in. I'm like, no, you're not on screen right now.
Yeah, you are not the guest this week, girl.
Exactly. Nosy bitch.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm ready for a season of drag. Yes.
I am. I'm ready for summer vacations drag. I'm excited that while I know life's not going to be 100% normal, it's nice to be hearing things like, you know, we can take masks off if we're vaccinated, restrictions are loosening. It's just nice to kind of start to finally be at the end of this nightmare.
Yes.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
And you know, like
There's
you mentioned,
still a lot of precautions.
You mentioned it at the beginning of this, where, like, you know, the biggest thing that, you know, the only uncertainty around the new mask restrictions, or, you know, the easing of those restrictions, it's like we won't know who's fully vaccinated. We won't know who's actually fully vaccinated and had their second shot, waited that 2 weeks, and now they're, going maskless. That's going to be the challenge, I think, through this time. And it was mentioned yesterday from our sister-in-law Nicole on via her Snapchat, but just that whole population of people that didn't believe it was a thing and they didn't want to wear their mask. Now they're wearing their mask, and hesitantly they're wearing their mask. Now with the restrictions being lifted and it going away, I think it's just going to get crazier and crazier. And who's to say that, fingers crossed nothing changes, but who's to say that cases don't increase again because people are just being idiotic.
Yeah, there's still a lot of variables there that are a little uncertain.
Yep, I agree.
So, still, it's very important to still stay smart. Stay smart. We're not done yet.
We are.
Mess it up. Don't mess this up.
I do not want to go back to quarantine.
It will literally take one person to mess it all up. So let's please be careful. Please be careful.
Please.
Yes.
Go. And, if you are, this is for for both. If you're fully vaccinated or you're not there yet, or you're still trying to get there, whatever the case may be, just continue to stay vigilant, and because we want to. Speaking of prides, we want to get back to having pride festivals and being able to all come together and celebrate and have fun and perform and meet people and see kids' faces light up when we're on stage performing, and so on and so forth. We go on forever talking about the amazing, magical experience that is Pride, but we won't be able to continue to have them if we need to cancel every year because of pandemic. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yes, and I need that in my life.
I'm ready for that to go. It's funny. We were talking a little bit about this yesterday with our neighbor and talking about prides. It's like, it's so nice to see, something I kind of wanted to bring up, like the progression of Pride. Someone like me, obviously, I've only been to Pride for the past 8 years, 9 years maybe. But like the progression that I've seen, so I'm sure there's people who might have been going to Prides for 15, 20 years. I'm sure that even more progression, but to see what I was telling my neighbor, to see I've seen this before, a married couple, man and woman, a straight married couple, bring their child who might be gay, trans, or even questioning, and bring them to Pride and let them know that if this is who you are, we support you, is the most beautiful thing ever.
It really is.
Sure.
Yeah.
It really is. I've been very blessed to have, as you see, my mom is watching the show right now. I've always been very blessed to have somebody who was accepting of their child being who they were. And of course, parents know. Parents always know. It's such a big thing when you come out to your parents, like, am I going to be accepted? Am I still going to be loved? Am I still going to have a place to live and lay my head at night? So I was very blessed in that department as far as, having somebody who loves me and accepts me for who I am and celebrates who I am and supports the things that I do. And that's the thing with today's generation and the Pride events that are coming up. It's important to teach our history to those kids so that they know this wasn't always a cakewalk.
Yeah.
This wasn't always, the way it was. We fought to be here and to be present and represented. So, always teach your history. Let the kids know where we come from, because until they appreciate that, they can't truly be proud.
Yeah.
It's so we've all put in so much effort. Every time, Scarlett, you and I get in drag, we are a representation of our history.
Yep.
So it's important to let kids know where we come from. Know that history. That's our power. That is our power. So
do you think that's a problem in the community now, where we have the prides and people may understand some of the history, but they don't understand all of it? Do you think that's going to be a problem with future generations, that they won't know the struggle or understand that struggle?
I think it is definitely an issue that needs to be addressed. I think it's a topic that needs constant babying and constant attention, because let's face it, technology has made us all lazy and stupid.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right here at our fingertips, we have the world. You know, and until you've been physically in it and you've experienced it for your life, Google can only tell you so much.
Yeah. No.
You know, so I think, yes, it is an issue, and it's of grave importance that we put that in people's heads where we come from.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
So
at the end,
important.
at the end of the day, you can easily, for example, you can easily go into Google and type in Stonewall riots and pull it up and read about it. But,
Sure.
or anything, and that was just the first thing that popped in my head, but you can literally go on Google and pull up anything that may be LGBTQ related and read about it until you actually go out into the community and see the struggles we've had, the things we had to go through, the struggles and things we still have to go through today. It's not over. Sure, today versus maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, might be better, but we're still battling the same battles.
Yeah.
They're just slightly better than they were years ago. So it's not only just about, going to Pride to celebrate and see drag performances and have a good time. You also need to know why there's Pride, why we do this every year. And that's going full circle here, going back to the haters. They don't understand. They just think we're throwing a parade because we're gay.
Right.
No, I'm not out here believe me, the last thing I want to do in 100-degree weather is have a couch shoved in my ass on stage in heels performing. That's the last thing I want to do. I'm not doing it because I'm here to party and want to have fun. No, because this is who I am. This is my life. And you need to understand that no matter what you give to me or what you say or how you act to me, I'm not changing who I am. This is who I am. And so deal with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, that's very valid.
And I was going to say, I think we have national museums. We have national museums for everything, and I think that at some point, will there be a national either Pride Museum, LGBTQ plus museum? Will there be something like that where, I've been to Israel and have seen the Holocaust Museum in Israel here in DC. I've seen that one. New York, I've seen that one. I've been to many museums, right? So to have that curated experience of the struggle that, our community has gone through, I think will be impactful. And I think that should be something that's on the forefront, if not something that we're working towards,
Yeah, for
legislatively.
Sure. Definitely. And if there's any Pride you want to go to New York Pride and go to the East Village and stand in front of the Stonewall and just take a moment to yourself. Just close your eyes and stand in front of the Stonewall. You can feel that energy.
Yeah.
And it's so surreal and so empowering to know that you're standing at the beginning of us.
Yeah.
Oh, you must go. You must go.
It's like the beginning of where enough was enough, right? Enough was enough, and that's where it all really began.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Yep. That feeling is there aren't words to describe that feeling.
No.
There really aren't.
Mm-mm.
And the Stonewall is this big. The Stonewall is a very tiny bar. It's smaller than Stallions. It's a tiny little bar.
Yeah.
But an army was created from that evening.
Yeah.
And we're still here. We are still fighting. So, yeah. It warms my heart to think of that. It really does.
Yeah. That, like you just said, that tiny little bar made a ripple effect that caused monumental change that is still happening to this day.
Did.
Yeah.
It sure did.
So
important to your history. Yes, it teaches these kids These kids think these kids have it easy.
Yeah.
And again, 90-year-old woman, these kids have it real easy. But yeah, let them know where we come from. That is their power.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's true, like, saying about them having it easy, but it just, going back to what I was saying about, like, seeing, like, these kids at these children at these festivals with their parents who are so accepting. It's just like, this is me speaking personally. It's just like, I look at them and I think, wow, I wish when I was like 10, I could have told my parents I was gay and it would have been okay. You know what I mean? Like, so to see that change, it's great. It's amazing to see that we've come that far. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's probably good that you didn't, because it made you a better person.
Yeah, for sure.
It made you smarter. It made you stronger. It puts you in line of where you need to be to move forward.
Yeah, that's true. It did.
You know what I mean? All the negative things and the hardships in our lives make us who we are.
Yeah.
It makes you value and appreciate the time that we have here in this life.
Yep.
So yeah, let people struggle. The struggle is real, and there's a real lesson in that struggle too.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a very valuable one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing about anything in my life. I have been through some shit. I have. And I wouldn't change a damn bit of it because it made me who I am at this very moment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's more of a, like you had just said, like I think back of it now and I'm like, yeah, sure. If I had to rewind back to that day and time of my life, I wouldn't, because it sucked. But I used that to become who I am today. So I cherish those hardships because they, while they sucked, they again made me who I am today. But it's just seeing that's the word, envy. It's being envious of these kids today, how easy they have it to just be like, hey, mom, I'm gay. Okay, cool. And that would have never happened when we were kids. I would have never been able to say that.
Right. You're absolutely right.
So
definitely.
Oh, wow. So, does either one of you have anything? I know I'm kind of like, I lead the show or whatever, but anything you would like to, bring up, talk about Pride and related to Pride?
Geez. Just how much I love Pride, and I love our community, and I love, being a representative for our community. There's so much power in that, and the future is really in our hands when it comes to that. Yes, the kids have it much easier than we did, and the generation before that had it harder than our generation.
Yeah.
But as you can see, we're winning, and we are growing, and we are more present and more represented than we ever have been on social media, in Hollywood, in LA, across the world. As far as drag race is concerned, there's a drag race in almost every country in this planet.
Yeah.
We have arrived. We have arrived. And that is something to be celebrated and applauded. And, it's not all about us. Maybe a little bit. But it's nice to finally be here and be represented and to be acknowledged for the presence that we are in this world. Because we're all about love. It's just about love. That's all it is. It's simple. It's very simple. It's just about love at the end of the day. And I will be doing this until I can no longer walk.
Same here. Same.
You're a couple of years away.
Hopefully I have a number of decades ahead of me yet. So.
At least another 40, right?
Yes.
That's another 40. Yep, here's another 40.
We're not done yet. We are just beginning.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I love it.
Yeah, but I totally agree with you. Yeah. No, and I agree with you too with, like, a big thing for pride is the representation. I remember I see our neighbor Debbie's watching, and I was telling her about maybe 2 weeks ago about the show Pose, and now she's watching it. Like I got her to watch it and stuff like that. But I just remember watching that show for the first time and being like, wow, this is amazing. Because obviously in the late, or should I say the early 90s, whenever, when that show was on, I was like 3, I don't know, I was a baby. So this is stuff that I didn't even know, for me.
Yes.
And just watching it. And then to, on top of that, realize that these female characters are all trans. It's just mind-blowing to see that amount of trans representation on one TV show in one, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And people of color, right? So trans, black,
that on top,
that's amazing, right? Because that would be unheard of in any other decade, right? That would not happen at all. And it took, and it's ironic how, and I watch a lot of movies, as Matthew can attest. I watch almost anything that's on television, and there was there's a TV show it's kind of based on true story, but it's just all fictional. But it does depict Hollywood in the 50s and the 60s, and how though there were gay, casting directors, agents, managers, two mega movie stars, they never they never helped to progress anything gay related, right? They wanted to keep anybody who was gay out of the limelight, and never push the needle or never cause any problems. Whereas now you see somebody like Ryan Murphy actually,
yes,
his whole production is gay. His whole production, it will be trans. He makes sure to do that, and it's just no other decade could that have happened. Unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
What is Laverne Cox? What is the documentary that she just put out?
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Here, I forget what it's called. Disclosure is the name of it.
Disclosure.
Have you seen that yet?
I have not.
No.
When we're done here, watch it. It is a documentary that basically goes through the history back to William Shakespeare times of trans people that were, in the media back then, just in everyday life.
Yeah.
And it goes through movies that we grew up watching, like Jim Carrey. What is it? Oh, I forget.
Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
It goes through so many movies that we loved as a kid, and after you see this movie, you were ashamed that you loved those movies. Because trans was also viewed as a joke, or just so much negativity in the trans community. But Disclosure, it's by Laverne Cox. The whole cast is trans, and it's just beautiful to see that perspective. And like I said, it's about educating yourself. You've got to dive into it if you want to understand it, and you want to be an active support group for the LGBT community. Know your history. Watch these documentaries. It's so important to know where we come from and the struggles that we have endured.
Yeah.
And the trans community is currently, and all of us, still enduring.
Yeah.
It goes through so much that just blew my mind, and oftentimes made me feel ashamed for the way I reacted to certain things.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of power there, and there's a lot of knowledge that needs to be shared, especially to the younger generation.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Well, I think that's again, with the education part, again, it's like I haven't seen the documentary, but I've seen stuff from it, and it was a lot of stuff talking about Ace Ventura and how that's problematic or whatever. But growing up, you just see Jim Carrey in his goofy self, rescuing animals. That's like all you think about in your head. Like you just think like this is Jim Carrey trying to figure out what happened to this dolphin or something. You know what I mean? Like that's all you think about in your head. But then when you actually watch the show and look at the characters and how they're portrayed and everything like that, it goes into it. But it's like, you know, not that I'm making excuses, but then, you know, back then, like when we were younger, like there wasn't that trans representation. There wasn't people talking about trans. There wasn't trans in the media. None of that was like it is today. So since you didn't have that, people kind of had that opportunity to make jokes and jabs at trans. Yeah. But now today, with the representation we have and the voices and the fact that we are out there, you know, whether you're trans or not, drag queen, ally, whoever you are, you know, standing up and fighting for trans people and their rights, now you see that stuff like this is problematic and it needs to stop.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, there was a time in the 80s and 90s and even prior to that where being trans was considered comedic.
Yeah.
Or it was funny.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it made people physically sick. Like, and to know that now and look back on that, it's like, wow, that, I felt bad for laughing at those sort of things.
Yeah.
Because back then they were presented as a joke.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know. We didn't have the knowledge back then.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so that's why it's so important, because someone's life and experience is not funny.
No.
It's not a joke, knowing that you can be physically hurt or even lose your life just for simply being who you were born to be.
Exactly.
You know, so spread that knowledge. It's so, please watch it. You must watch it. It is so, it's moving. It is so moving.
Yeah.
Like, I
just saw it on Netflix, so.
Oh, perfect. And I just saw it's raining outside, so how am I going to spend the rest of my Sunday evening?
Yeah,
Netflix and chill. Oh, God. Yeah, well, we can obviously talk about Pride all day, but we are nearing the end of the show. So,
you have one more announcement, don't you?
Yes, exactly. We will do that. So we're going to start by wrapping up. For everyone watching, thank you so much for watching our show. If you want to check out the show, if you didn't get to today what was live, if you want to check it out, you can find us on our Facebook. Our Facebook is Across the Pond Official 1. That's all one word. You can also watch us on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube if you can, so we can change our YouTube name, make it unique instead of this crazy name. But our YouTube page right now is https://rb.gy/IQZMSN. We also have an Instagram. Our Instagram page is @AcrossThePondOfficial. That's all one word, all lowercase letters. Our podcast, you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts at. It's Across the Pond Official. And lastly, you can find our fabulous guest with Amethyst Diamond. This is her Instagram, Amethyst_Diamond1. She's also on Facebook as Amethyst Diamond, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So check her out on Facebook and Instagram. Give her a follow. And you can find, as we were talking earlier, you will be able to find on both of our social medias for our show June 4th at Stallions. If you're in the Harrisburg area, please come out and support us. Please, please. We would love that.
Bring your dollar bills. Bring your dollar bills.
Yeah.
Bring your dollar bills.
Give me that coin, honey. And lastly, if you have a question that you wanted to ask us that you didn't get to during the show, or you didn't want to post publicly, or you have an idea for a future topic, or lastly, you want to be a guest on our show, you can email us. Our email is acrossthepond11@outlook.com. So, last thing I want to do before we say our goodbyes is make our special surprise. So, starting this evening after the show ends and the post goes up onto our Facebook page, if you must follow our Facebook page and comment on the post on our Facebook page. You will get a bonus entry if you also follow us on our Instagram page, but you will be entered into our giveaway that we are doing next Sunday. So the giveaway starts this evening once I make the post, which should be here within the next 2 hours, and go until next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. that's 4 hours before our show starts, is our deadline to enter. Again, like the post, comment on Facebook, follow us on Instagram for bonus entry. The giveaway will be, drum roll, it will be one of Brian's games, Queen's Rule, that he's releasing. It also comes with one of the shirts and a straw set, metal reusable straw set. All items say Queen's Rule on, and they are all going to be released June 1st is the release date. So I know we're doing the giveaway next weekend, but the winner we will put in contact with Brian, and he will make sure that he gets all your info, and a game, a metal reusable straw set, and a T-shirt from Queen's Rule will all be mailed.
Right.
So enter into that. Yes.
Right.
That straw set is everything. I want that straw set. So.
Oh, beautiful.
Sure.
Oh,
let
yeah.
me see. Can I share this? Can I share the picture?
But with that being said, that is the end of our show. So we will go with Amethyst first. Any last thoughts, words to the audience? The floor is yours.
Always. You know, I always have something to say. Jeremy and Scarlett, thank you so much. Or Matthew, are we Matthew now? Thank you so much for having me be a part of your show. It's always a blessing to, even if it's, you know, via the net, getting to see friends and family and loved ones, and just getting a chance to talk and bullshit and kiki and, you know, just putting a good message out there to the people. So thank you for having me. For the viewers that are watching, thank you so much for tuning into Across the Pond. You can catch both of us next Wednesday on Inside the Drag Closet, where we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary show. So thank you all for watching tonight or this afternoon. I'm not sure what time it is on this Sunday. I've been in drag since 9 o'clock this morning, baby. I need a shower. But yeah, thank you for having me. I'm always blessed to be surrounded by good people and good friends. So thank you so much. Mwah. I love you.
Jeremy, anything?
Well, thank you, Amethyst. It was great to catch up with you, at least digitally, if anything else. And then, of course, you know, like I say all the time, you know, just take care of yourself. Please, please, please keep wearing your mask. Even if you're fully vaccinated, you know, you can't trust what other people have or have not done. You know, and by you protecting yourself, at least you're showing support for making sure that people are doing the same. If you can get vaccinated, please register to be vaccinated. Listen, I'll just say this, I'll get on my soapbox and then I'll do it very quickly, but like, don't go off of what other people are saying about the vaccine. If you received MMR as a kid, if you've received the childpox vaccine, anything else, mumps, rubella, whatever, if you've received any of those vaccines as a child, and I've received the smallpox vaccine, like, this is probably going to be fine as well. Like, you're not going to, it will not kill you if it hasn't killed many other people before. So just don't believe what's said on social media, on Facebook, whatever. Just get vaccinated, please. Listen to your doctor. Listen to your doctor.
Yeah.
And hopefully your doctor's sane, right? Like, all TL shade, but like, you know, hopefully your doctor's okay. But in any event, just, you know, protect yourself and have a great week. We'll see you next weekend. And again, thank you, Amethyst, for joining me.
Anytime. My absolute pleasure. Truly.
So I'll, you know, first off, want to say, like Jeremy did, thank you so much, Amethyst, for being a guest. It was so amazing to have you. Whether it's this show or Inside the Drag Closet, I'm so glad we can still consistently see each other, and I cannot wait to see you on June 4th in person. So excited. But yes, thank you for being our guest. Jeremy, thank you for filling in for Brian and doing the show every week.
Love you, Brian.
Yes, we love you. Can't wait to have you back. Thank you to Ted and WLFE-DB for having our show, as well as all the other shows. You can check out all the other shows as well on WLFE-DB. Go to our Facebook page. to find out times and days for all the other shows and check them all out. All the shows are great. We have everything from paranormal to LGBT and in between. Thank you to our viewers and supporters for following us, watching us, and all that. Remember to, go tonight and get entered into the giveaway. And lastly, continue to, be kind to one another, support one another. We will get through this. Keep your mask on. Get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. Let's beat this thing. And that being said, that's all we have to say. So, goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining the Boys of Across the Pond. Join them again next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK time.
WLFE DB Radio is on Spotify with all its great shows like Across the Pond, Inside the Drag Closet, Step into the Paranormal, Just Cindy, Where's My Sage, Unfiltered Talks with Bryce, Metal Mayhem ROC, Paratalk Radio, Real Talk with Dom, and more. So download the Spotify app today to stay connected to all your WLFE DB Radio shows.